Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moonride, where we're channeling the man in the moon. First, I want to apologize to you. Yesterday, I did not do my usual live reading. There was no big deal, honestly. I just woke up in the morning and I got a message from Spirit, don't read today. Still don't really know why, but you're probably feeling it if you're watching this channel. There's a lot of universal, exchange going back and forth. I don't know how else to describe it. I can feel it happening to me every time in the middle of the night when I go to sleep. I wake up. You'll notice, especially people who are very tuned in might be feeling a little bit creaky. Things are strange, whatever. You might be feeling this yourself. My advice is, probably you don't want to sign any major contracts the next week or two. Go ahead and make plans, but I would not make final stuff. If you feel a little bit dizzy or some stuff going on, understand that this is happening. If there's miscommunications, be very patient with yourself and others. Something really is happening. I feel like it's a download of a new period of time, like a universal love time. And I feel that actually characters like our present government have really shown up so that we can fight against them. One point I've made out, and somebody made out to me, is that we don't really have the same access to justice like we did before. I mean, maybe people weren't really getting justice before, but at least we had a possibility of using our government and our judicial system to get a just society. It was possible, if not reality. Now we really don't have that possibility. We're somewhat in a moral and political freefall right now, where the portions of government that are supposed to be doing their jobs are not functioning well, if at all. It's not surprising that we have turned to spirituality to try to find some new powers. I would find a good deal of comfort there, and knowing that something is changing, right? I would also just, notice like when the border issue came up, how many amazing people showed up, how many amazing reporters have shown up, how many people who didn't necessarily have their own interests at heart at the border. I'm thinking of these troops of women who went down there. I know there was a Jewish group, others to them, to you, or making your donations to that cause. I just want to say this is the universal love we're feeling, and we're just making a decision to go in that direction, and it's good. I will be doing my usual reading next week, which is usually Tuesday night in America, Wednesday morning for me in Australia. I will answer the questions that I was going to answer yesterday in that time. If by chance you've already sent me a message for those questions and now they're no longer timely, just send me a note and I'll switch them out. It's not a big deal to do that. And sorry to make you wait another week, but I will do them live soon. That is next week. Today I'm kind of getting the message, yeah, right now, I guess Epstein needs to be talked about a little bit more. I'm a little bit more interested in William Barr unrecusing himself from this. That's pretty weird, right? And if you look at anybody who knows anything about the history of recusal, they would say that this is an extraordinary event. I don't know if there's any evidence for this ever happening again where a person unrecuses. So let's see, and if anything else shows up, we'll just take a look at that. Okay, so sure, Spirit. But first of all, tell me about that creepy Epstein character. Don't show me anything too gross. I don't want to need to. I don't want to know the details. Okay, you know what I see? I see it all come crashing down. Y'all might notice that many readers saw this event coming up. They saw, like, even at the beginning of the presidency, Trump's presidency, that it was little girls. That's what was going to come up. That's what was going to bring him down, not other political issues. Some ways, it's just really showing a good deal about what matters in our society and what disrupts people's minds. In some way, that's good. Let's see. Ooh, what a creep, man. What it just, ugh. It just has this gross feeling. Epstein just has this gross feeling of power, and just power above anything else, power that manipulates. And I get kind of that he's got a knife in his hand. Right? He's got a knife in his hand. He's showing me something with a knife. Oh, he's showing the connections that he has to other people. All right, so can you tell me who these people are? Okay, once more, Spirit. Do you want to show? Okay, he doesn't want to show me who they are. Spirit does not want me to know right now. It might be hidden for a little while because he's sitting on it, simmering on it, wondering who he could expose. I think one of them's Barr. Yeah, and I kind of get this from Spirit. Just stick to the reading. Don't go too far off topic here, because one of them is Barr. Even you don't need to go any further than Barr. All right. Okay. Oh, interesting. Notice these Barr. Think of bar stop and behind bars. Sometimes people have names that really are telling. Something to do with Barr. Barr did something really wrong. I see Barr actually literally behind bars in prison. I think there is an obstruction case against Barr regarding the Epstein situation at the very least. Do you guys know that Barr's father hired Epstein to tutor children? You can't write this stuff. I mean, yeah. He hired Epstein, who was totally unqualified to work with anyone, much less children. He wasn't even a college graduate at a very prestigious school. So why would his dad hire him to do this job? And then within 1 year, Barr was basically kicked out of that school. He only lasted a year as their president, right after Epstein scrammed. So there's something on there, and that's something. Barr's looking really mad at me. He's like, that's something I didn't want. I didn't want anybody to know. Is there other things you don't want us to know? He knew about it. William Barr knew about it. He knew what was going on, and he didn't tell anybody. He knew about it. He saw that happen. He knew every detail of what happened, and he covered it up. You know, these people who cover these things up, they're worse than the child molesters. You know, they have some control over themselves. You know, they have some ability to control themselves, and you know, still they're willing to overlook this kind of stuff for power. It's appalling. Yeah, in this image, Barr even Barr is ashamed of himself, and he's really not looking forward to this stuff coming out. So, Spirit, why did Barr unrecuse himself? Because he wants to pull a fast one. He wants to keep himself out of jail. Yeah, Barr's like trying to figure out a way out of the jail cell right now. Like, oh, could we do this? Could we do this? Just, how about if you cuff one arm? He's trying to find this way out. But it's not going to work. Others are going to join him in prison. It looks like Epstein's there. Spirit, is there a direct Trump connection? Okay, once more, tell me again. Is there a direct connection to Trump? Something happened at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, the girl does not look like she's 18. Something happened. And I get a girl taken by surprise. Hmm. And I think Epstein kind of had this information about him. Epstein knew Trump's infidelities, and maybe he recorded them, or he's just aware of them. And one of the things that he did was let Trump know that he knows something. So, they seized a CD from from Epstein's safe. That CD had, kiddie porn pictures on it. Again, this is a man who was let to walk and basically continued his horrific abuse of these children. But there's something more on when they find out who those girls are and they contact every single one of them, more heads will roll. And that's what Trump's really worried about. I get 3 women, maybe 4 women know something. And they'll show up. First one will show up, and the other one will have confidence, and she'll show up, and then another one will have a confidence, and she'll show up. And if it were just 1 or 2, he could try to, say, oh, they're all liars. But 3, they're having some trouble convincing people. Trump's really doing harm in my image. That's what I'm seeing. I think also he shut them up. Somebody shut them up and kept them quiet. Either with money or threats or both. Mostly threats. I think it's more threats. Because I keep seeing Trump with a knife. Yeah, in my vision, it's not so explicit, but he's doing a lot of harm to these people. Oh, this is dark stuff. So, Spirit, are these people going to come to justice? Well, I see Trump hanging, and I don't think Trump's really going to hang himself. But I think he's going to wish he was dead. I mean, that's how much he's going to despise his future. Yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised if Trump took his own life in a prison cell. That would not surprise me. Dershowitz is implicated. He knew about it. Might have participated himself. Anything else about Dershowitz that I need to know? Something in writing. There's something that he put in writing that's incriminating. It's maybe hidden for now, but we'll find it. It's hidden among a big old stack of papers someplace, maybe in archives. There's something that he wrote that's very incriminating that shows that he did something very wrong. So anyone else? There are other major players, but these are some of the most important players in this scenario. And I do get Dershowitz will be in trouble. How about Epstein? Is he going to get what he deserves? Yeah, monster in a cage. That's my feeling. It's almost like a zoo animal. That's what he's going to become. And I'm not sure he's going to survive prison. A lot of people in prison, they've experienced these abuses themselves. So this is their chance to get back at the abuser, and they take that chance. I'm not advocating this, but it's just a fact that these people do not survive prison. Yeah. It might even be that somebody kills him so he doesn't blab. I see a guy sneaking into a room where he's not expecting, and this guy comes in and takes care of him. Okay. So, Spirit, can you tell me anything more about Barr? What is Barr going to do? Scrambling. He's scrambling. Yeah, he's really moving around fast. He's trying to cover all his tracks. He's scrambling. He's frantic. And there's no one that can help him. Because if people find out the details, he's in a lot of trouble. So he's trying to cover all these bases on his own. It's really putting a lot of pressure on him. And there's a lot of things that he's trying to cover at the same time. So this is really making him crazy because it's one more thing that he's trying to control. And he's feeling this. He's feeling like, I'm going to lose my grip. And then he calls up Trump, and Trump screams at him. And he can't really manage all of these things. And he's starting to get the impression, I'm going to get in trouble. Spirit, why did Barr unrecuse himself? So he can manage it, so he can handle it, so he can cover up. And also to show his power. So one thing about Barr is that he wants to show how strong he is, and he doesn't want to unrecuse like Jeff Sessions. He wants to be in the thick of it for Trump's sake, so that he looks like a strong person that's taking care of things. I don't think that he participated in any of these activities, but he knew about it. Yeah, well, and he will be shamed, right? He will be shamed for what he did, for covering this up. All right. Are we going to, is the government going to put up with his unrecusal? Okay, I'm seeing Barr. He's in a courtroom. There's a huge stack of papers that's piled so high that you cannot see Barr's face. The pile keeps shifting, so he's going to shift it away from him, shift it into his face, shift it away from him, it's shifted into his face, back and forth. Judge doesn't look happy at all. Frustrated judge. So, Spirit, is this about Epstein or other things? It's about Epstein, okay. It's kind of like you can't recuse, then unrecuse. That's not how it works. Like the judge is like, what? You know. Okay. Is there anything else we need to know about Barr? Blood red. That's what I see as like, I see almost like textbooks and then red, blood red coming out of that. It's kind of almost like using the law to do harm and kill. That's kind of the feeling that I'm having with this. And the irony of him being like the most highest lawyer in the land, and the law which he's supposed to support is the one that's encircling him. It's a beautiful irony there in a way. There is some divine justice in this fact. Okay. Spirit, is there something optimistic and positive you can tell us looking at this material? It's very difficult. What's a positive message we could give to all the peeps out there? Pyramids. Look, you guys, in the last few weeks, I've seen pyramids left and right. Pyramids, pyramids, pyramids. I look at all my clients. Pyramids are being built. We are learning from this, and we're learning more about our intuitive powers, our powers of justice. You might call it a feminine power. We're learning more about this. And, you know, we might not have got this far if we didn't have such horrible things to face. This is what makes a people great. And this is what makes you great insofar as maybe you shift a little bit away from trying to do that this way, and you shift it to something a little bit more like your hidden powers that people don't see, your intuitions, all those things that build on also just seeing something wrong and saying, no, I don't believe in that, and having the courage to do that. That is very powerful. So don't forget through all of this stuff, and this in no way justifies the experience of any of the victims here, and I hope you will send all of your love to them today, along with the reporter who broke this story, that courageous woman from the Beacon. Her name isn't available to you. Or the Miami Herald. You send all your love to those people, all of them. Nobody has really done this for the victims and said kind of like soothing love. Send it out to them, whether they make themselves known or not known. These people really do need our help and love and sympathy, and this woman who broke the story needs a big old pat on the back. These are the kinds of heroes who evolve. They would never be heroes in any other situations. They might not drag you out of a burning car, but today, right now, lots of people are doing really great stuff in reaction to some pretty terrible situations that we find ourselves in. So remember, all of us are being rebuilt. We're creating ourselves in a way that is going to be much more effective to deal with the problems of the future. That might just involve listening to your intuition a little bit more and working with those kinds of powers a little bit more. That will help us along, and it really is a good thing. That portion obviously is a good thing. So understand that with all this terribleness, some good is happening, and that will continue for a while as we press forward towards a more just society and a more just planet. It'll put us much more in tune with spirit when we go through this. So there is an ultimate outcome that is beneficial despite the horrific experience that many of us are experiencing, or we're watching others experience. Definitely give yourself a good pat on the back. If you've just paid attention, if you've just been aware, if you've just tapped into your own powers, if you've tapped into your own feelings of justice, give yourself a pat on the back. That's what's supposed to happen. There are some people in our society who are not doing that, and you have made your choice. You've made your choice even though it doesn't make you any money, right? You've made that choice. So, don't forget to, say, hey, good job, whoever you are, good job, even if that's just a friendly phone call. Whatever it is that you did in kindness or love or understanding for another, that is to be commended. In that way, you are also turning to spirit and tuning into what is coming from the universe right now. That's absolutely a good thing. There is a silver lining here. Don't forget about that, and hopefully you can use that to sort of ease some of the pain that you may be experiencing. Yeah, this sort of pyramid in the sky, it will form. It is forming above us now, and we are part of it. It's not different from us. It's just a new creation, and we haven't really experienced it before. So take your time here and allow yourself to sort of unconsciously create a new place for us all to live in. And we're doing this every day, and it's work, but we'll succeed. All right, on that note, thanks for watching.